Well, let's bring in Bruce Heyman. He is a former United States ambassador to Canada. Bruce, thank you for being with us.
It's a pleasure.
Ambassador, your thoughts on Mulroney's words today as he gave tribute to a very remarkable man?
Well, these two men were great friends, but I think having the former prime minister there was also a demonstration of the friendship between our two countries. And I think that, you know, former President George H.W. Bush planned this out, and I think he very much wanted to demonstrate that friendship. And it's so good to see, and the words were fantastic today.
Just how important was it for someone from Canada to be there represented and speaking at this day?
Well, for me, you know, being the former U.S. ambassador and someone who continues to promote the U.S.-Canada relationship, I think that was, you know, it couldn't have been a more deserving person, and it couldn't have been a better choice. But again, I think this rises to the U.S.-Canada relationship. I'm here in Ottawa today in a number of meetings, and just walking the streets and seeing the flags at half-mast. What an incredible tribute to your next-door neighbor. As an ambassador, I was here, and we had to lower our flags at half-mast for a number of incredibly challenging and painful, difficult situations around the world. But here, this is one out of great respect and honor and tribute, and I know Americans appreciate it.
Ambassador, is this was this a different time of friendship, of leadership between the two countries, or do you think that we'll return to that again?
Well, it's clearly when someone passes, it's a point of reflection, and you look back on the time during his life and all of the contributions he made, but we also look back on the time that we had a president that had civility, that while you may disagree, you don't need to be disagreeable, and you had an appreciation for humanity and people on all sides. What an amazing president, by bringing coalitions of people from around the world together to tackle things. And for Canada, he's the man who really worked on climate. He worked on clean air and acid rain. He worked on the problems with trade, and he was the promoter of the first NAFTA agreement. So all of this together, I think he really wanted to highlight the U.S.-Canada relationship, but it was a really important part of his presidency.
I understand you and your wife actually attended Bush's inauguration. What is it like when you reflect back on that day?
So I really thought about it, and I know, you know, it's surprising to some people. I actually, not a lifelong, just pure Democrat, straight-line party person, but someone who really supported people who I thought exemplified leadership. And, you know, I thought back on that day, what a great celebration it was, and a lot of optimism. And I was really pleased to be there. And while watching the memorial service, I had a lot of fond memories of that, albeit it was a few years ago.
Ambassador, when children in the future open the textbooks and they read about George H.W., what is the legacy that you hope they see?
So you see a person who committed himself to service to our country from a young man as a fighter pilot, you know, dealing with the issues that we faced in World War II. And then throughout his life as a congressman, as an ambassador in China and the United Nations, as head of the CIA, as a congressman, you know, as a vice president, as a president, you know, what a resume, and it demonstrates what's possible. And I think the, you know, clear skies and unlimited visibility, you know, that should be a life mantra for all of us, kind of looking forward as to what is possible. And George H.W. Bush demonstrated that.
Bruce Heyman is a former United States ambassador to Canada. Appreciate your thoughts today, sir.
Thanks.